no Rico Dowdle, out with a designated illness. You elevate Dalvin Cook. The run game still doesn't necessarily look fully pieced together. But Nate Newton, what's the problem with this offense?
No rhythm. You missed Guyton for a couple of weeks, and you moved Tyron out there. I put T.J. Bass in. Just got too many moving parts. Cooper is pretty solid. The right guard and right tackle okay, but there's no continuity with this team. And as long as you have no continuity within your offense and defensive lines, no matter how great CeeDee Lamb is, no matter how great Overshown is on defense or Eric Kendricks is on defense, if your interior from your guard to your center, from tackle to tackle defensively, guard to center offensively, no continuity, no wins.
It was a little encouraging at the end seeing CeeDee Lamb able to take over the game a bit, but even then it felt like it was still garbage time points. They got their way back in it, had the ball and a chance to drive and take the lead, and when it mattered most, San Francisco clamped right back down. But the defense is a significant problem as well, and we're going to talk to DeMarvion Overshown when we come back with more Cowboys Game Night right after this.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
It's definitely a game of emotion, as you can tell. It's going to be a battle every time, and we had a great week of preparation, and we felt good coming into the week, and we just got outplayed in third quarter, and it ended up biting us at the end of the game. We had a chance, we gave ourselves a chance, but giving up all those points in the third quarter really came back to bite us. So. Good football team. Kudos to them, but we just got to get better.
Marvin, when you think of the things coming out of the bye that on defense you guys are trying to fix, how much do you think has been fixed, reflected from this game?
Some of the major issues we definitely fixed. We tried some different fronts. I'm sure we stay in tune with those. Those worked out pretty well for the most part. But it was just a couple of plays where quarterback took off or they broke for a long run that, end up costing us. And those are always the plays like you wish you had back. But for the most part, I feel like we done good with the game plan. Like I say, we let it get away from us in the third quarter. Got our composure back in the fourth quarter, finished strong, but it wasn't enough.
Marvin, were you surprised that Brock was able to hold on to that ball in that set?
Watching his film, he carried the ball a lot, so I'm sure that's something that he works on. Me, personally, I got to do a better job at attacking the ball. Like, blind side, you know, I know it's a hard hit, but I got to do better attacking the ball, especially in that situation, getting it back to our offense to the closest to the end zone as I can. So that's one thing that I learned from that sack. But like I said, he held on to the ball. Good play by him.
Coming out of half.
DeMarvion Overshone talking about some of the notable things missing on that defensive unit. And fact of the matter is, when you give up over 245 yards passing, 220 yards on the ground, you're not playing good football on that side. Where does it start with this defense?
Up front. And I know it's boring. I know people say every week Nate say up front. But that's where it started at. We run a 4-3 defense. And what we need is for our linebackers like Overshone, Kendricks, and those guys to be able to run free. When we bring an extra guy in the box and Donovan Wilson, he got to come up and be a devastating force. So we got to start up front with the run game, and we got to be better tacklers and more willing tacklers to keep that pressure off our secondary, because once you turn into a play-action pass team, you can just throw the ball whenever you want. And they hit us for, 469 total yards?
Yeah.
200 rushing, 200 throwing. That's a balance that we don't need. You got to make a team one-dimensional, and it starts up front.
Averaging 6 yards per carry, chunk yardage after chunk yardage. And again, it's not Christian McCaffrey. For much of the game, it was not Jordan Mason who's been running well. It was Isaac Guerrero, a fourth-round rookie out of Louisville. Just can't stop the run. You can't slow down the pass. There's nothing really going right for this defense right now. When we come back, we're going to hear from Dak Prescott as well. A couple turnovers, both in big-time situations. What is happening in the mind of QB1 when we return with more Cowboys Game Night?
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
The West Coast, as we now hear from quarterback one, Dak Prescott.
I mean, me personally frustrated myself that my play. I imagine the rest of the guys are not getting a win. Two in a row, sitting at 3 and 4. But I can definitely tell you that nobody's shaken or given up. Frustration is very high, but it's a long season. I mean, it's a long season. Division games, a lot are still ahead of us. Frustrated. That's the best way that I can put it.
The last drive, can you go back, was there belief, and can you just talk about those 4 plays?
Yeah, hell yeah, there's belief. I mean, that's all I can ask for. All this team can ask for is an opportunity. ball in our hand, down 6, to go win the game. And first one, in cut, got to just put the ball higher. Nowhere else. I think in that moment, I mean, from my view, to go with the ball, just got to put it higher and/or scramble, create something with my legs being its first down. The second down play, they did a good job. Took Ferg away underneath, kind of bracketed this corner route, forced me out of the pocket. Third down, liked the matchup, took a shot, didn't convert it. And then on the fourth down, I got pressure early. I had to get out of the pocket and kind of put something up for hopes. Hope that there was contact on the end. Didn't go that way. 2 guys on 1. They made the plays when they needed to, and we didn't.
So Dak Prescott, for the second straight week, has multiple turnovers, does not look good whenever it really matters. And that's the thing about Dak is whenever he signs the contract, he's the highest paid player in NFL history. There's just another level of pressure on top of being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Where do they turn things around in terms of the passing game? Because we've talked about the struggle in the run game. Is it all tied together?
Got to be a little bit more precise in what you're doing. He told us exactly what he saw and how he threw these interceptions. But what I think he's doing, he's pressing. I think he's seeing things or hoping for things, and they're not there. Well, he's got to get a better timing with his wide receivers. He got to get a little bit more to his tight ends and his running backs. You got to spread it around. You got to go back to that old Dak, that smooth Dak. Or when you see, hey, this guy's open, throw it to him. Whether it's a dink and dunk, don't matter. But don't force things. You know what I mean? And he's taking a lot of hurries and hits through his offensive line. He didn't want to say anything, but one of the interceptions, the guy was all in his chest. He couldn't follow through. Yeah. That was that pass down the left sideline. So he's going through some things, but he's going to take it. That big check, that's what he's supposed to do.
Well, and a lot of times he's having to force things. The offensive line's not playing well. The run game, only giving him 50-plus yards, is not going to necessarily open up the play-action game. Dallas is out of sorts on offense. They're out of sorts on defense. That's not necessarily breaking news for anybody watching. But when we come back, Nate's going to give out some pancakes. They're not necessarily the good pancakes. They're the ones that are burnt right off the front of the pile. How do you get better going into Week 9?
To watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's bug fixes. Obviously, it's some things that we can't control, some things that we can't. As for him, I know he can do better and have a better read, and as for us, we can have better routes, fight at the top of the routes. There's plenty of ways you can avoid an interception, you know what I'm saying, and on both parties, and I know he can vouch for that. But as for us, I can only speak for us. And we gotta be more physical at the top of the route, and we gotta win overall.
CeeDee Lamb talking about what the Cowboys can do better moving forward. Dak Prescott even saying nobody is giving up, nobody is shaken. Frustration really high, but it's a long season. Nate Newton going to wrap things up here on Cowboys Game Night with some burnt pancakes. Didn't turn out well the first time around, but you got a couple different opportunities coming up late. Who's got to be better next week?
Donovan Wilson. I know he's a box safety. That's the guy, safety, that walks up and be a part of the run game. But when they can isolate you like they did with Kittles for those big catches, a couple of those big catches, he burnt him up pretty bad. Yeah. That was, burnt pancakes for you, baby. Donovan Wilson.
It's unfortunate. He gives out good pancakes whenever good things happen,
right.
And this just isn't one of those games, unfortunately. And if you want to have some good news and look ahead at the Cowboys schedule, it's not really good news. Don't look ahead at the Cowboys schedule. You've got Atlanta next week coming off of a win again today against Tampa Bay. Then you've got Philadelphia, who's currently second in the division. Houston, then Washington, who's currently first in the division. 4 straight games and a continued month of football following another loss for the Cowboys, who've lost 2 straight in this time to the San Francisco 49ers. 30-24, the final score from Levi's Stadium. For Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans. That's going to do it for us here on Cowboys Game Night. We'll be back next week to break it all down for you with Cowboys Pregame Live, Cowboys OT, and Cowboys Game Night.